Here, lagging behind.
So for the test on 24th, will the full portion come for Cytomas? Like, will we finish the chapter by then?
24 तक तो नहीं.
तो मेन टेस्ट के पहले होगा.
हाँ?
तो मेन टेस्ट के पहले होगा. मेन टेस्ट तो 29 30 है.
What time?
Major test sir 30th Jan.
20 तक हो जाए.
ओके सर.
आपकी वो हटा ना, मैं लेट भी नहीं सकती हूँ किसी में.
अभी लेटने का नहीं है. रख देना रमा बाद में.
नहीं, मैं नहीं करूँगी.
मत कर. मत कर.
चल जल्दी.
कौन है भैया जो लेट के क्लास सुनने के लिए तैयार है?
Sir, should we send message on the group for people to come?
Should we send a message?
On the group.
On the WhatsApp group to tell the people to join quickly.
Leave a message. They're supposed to join quickly. Why are they late? 12 past 4.
So, sir, is gravitation and SHM also part of mechanics, or is that a...
No, it's slightly different. Mechanics with rotational dynamics, from thereafter, physics will take a turn. Mechanics is up to rotation. Though few concepts of mechanics are used in gravitation and SHM, but the application will be slightly different. Fluids, and mechanical properties, all that will be slightly different.
So like in work power energy, those potential energy functions that we used to get, many of them were simple harmonic motion ke equations.
But there we'll calculate time period. So we'll use some part of it. The approach towards problems will be different. Fine. Listen. Firstly, you have two blocks M1 and M2. You have two blocks M1 and M2. M2 is compressed by a distance of x0 from the unstretched position. This was the unstretched position of the spring. This is the unstretched position for the spring. Relaxed position. There is no compression, no elongation at that point. You compressed this and released. You compressed this and released. You released it from here. Find velocity of center of mass when the spring is at its maximum elongation. Actually, a problem based on the extension of what we have learned. Right? It's actually a problem based on what we have learned. Think carefully and solve the problem is quite easy. This is a wall, smooth wall. When you compress it by a distance of x naught and release it, what will be the velocity of M2 when it is passing through the equilibrium position? When M2 is passing through the unstretched position, what will be the velocity? Half mv square is equal to half k, half M2v square is half k x naught square. Do you agree with that?
So can you repeat?
What should I do?
Sir, when M2 is passing through that treatment. Sorry, sir.
When M2 is passing through the equilibrium position, half kinetic energy gained by it is from half k x naught square,
Okay, sir. Sorry.
right? B will be x naught under root k by M2. This will be the velocity with which M2 is passing through the unstretched position because you compressed it by x naught and released.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Velocity of center of mass at this instance when M2 is passing through this is M1 into 0 plus M2 into V upon M1 plus M2. This V I'll have to substitute here. I'll get velocity of center of mass at this instance when M2 is passing through the natural length of the spring. And that is my answer. Thereafter, center of mass will be moving with uniform velocity. Why thereafter? Why not before that? Till when M2 is moving from here till here, the spring is in the compressed state. In the compressed state, M1 is pressing the ball and ball is pushing M1. The moment M2 crosses this particular point, the spring will get stretched. The moment it gets stretched, M1 will leave contact with the wall. What fascination do you have with the situation when M1 leaves the wall? Normal force or external force becomes zero. Till M2 comes from here till here, there is an external force. Center of mass is accelerating. Right? Once M2 crosses this point, M1 leaves contact with the wall. Because now the spring is stretched. Even by the minutest stretch, M1 will leave contact with the wall. Normal force will become zero. External force is zero. So what? Center of mass hereafter will move with uniform velocity. Center of mass hereafter will move with uniform velocity. Is the logic clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So had they asked us for the maximum, like the velocities of M1 and M2 when maximum elongation was reached, then we have to do that relative velocity approach, right?
Actually, there you know the momentum at this stage. You know V. So you know the momentum at this stage. At maximum elongation, both will have the
Come
same
to rest. Yes, sir. Or with respect to the center of mass, they'll come to rest.
right.
Sir,
Hmm.
so when M2 crosses the unstretched position, then only the normal force on M1 will become zero, right?
Naturally.
Okay.
So you are finding out at that instance when M1 leaves contact with the ball. Any of the board?
So 1 minute. Yes, sir.
Now listen. This is a 3 kg block and this is a 2 kg block. You're pulling this with a force and the force is not constant. This is 5t Newton. T is time. T is time in seconds. This is K. Initially, the spring is in the unstretched position. At time t equal to 0, force is 0 and spring is in the unstretched position. Right? At t equal to 10 seconds, velocity of 3 kg block is 30 meters per second. Find velocity of 2 kg block at this instant. At this instant. Normal, simple, straight hit problem which has got nothing to do with the two particle system and the spring in between. This has got nothing to do with the two particle system. All that which I taught in the last class, you don't need to apply any of that concept. This is a straight hit problem. Simple, straight hit, calculus based problem. Don't think too much. Think straight about the problem. The job is done easily. I'll give you 2 minutes. Listen. Listen, do I have your attention?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If this is an external force, center of mass will be accelerating. Acceleration of center of mass is 5t divided by 3 plus 2 meter per second square. Do you all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this I will write as dVcm by dt is equal to t.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes.
Yes.
dVcm is equal to 5 dt अरे नहीं पाई क्यों?
T square by
VCM is
TDT
T.
होगा.
yes, sir.
At time t equal to 0, velocity of center of mass was 0. At time t equal to 10 seconds, you are asking me velocity of center of mass. VCM is 10 square minus 0 square by 2. This is 50 meters per second is the velocity of center of mass at,
10 seconds.
seconds.
and this VCM is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 upon m1 plus m2. M1 and M2 are given to you. VCM just now you calculated. You know velocity of the 3 kg mass. You are asking me velocity of the 2 kg mass. V2 is the only variable. Can I calculate?
Yes, sir.
I told you this has got nothing to do with the concept we learned in the previous class. It was a straight hit of calculating VCM and equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2 upon M1 plus M2.
Sir,
Ah,
sir, what I did was F is equal to dP by dt and pull the dt to the F dt is equal to dP and integrated on both sides.
dP is the change in momentum of
And the total momentum should equal to the F integrated with respect to t.
that change in momentum is the change in momentum of what? Center of mass.
Oh,
Whole of the system, center of mass, right?
oh, yes, sir.
So, if they are given the kk value of the spring, would it be possible to solve this using work power energy theorem?
Work power energy can calculate. You'll have to use calculus two times. This minus kx is mass into acceleration. X is varying.
Yes,
Ft
sir.
minus kx is mass into acceleration, and x is varying.
Okay, so it'll be very difficult then.
Sir,
Two variables will be in your integral.
sir, can you assume after crossing the unstretched position, the acceleration of 2 kg is 0? So kx is equal to at
Can
15
you say that
meters.
again? Say that again.
So for 2 kg, after crossing the unstretched position, the acceleration will be 0. So, like by dynamic equations, kx 50 minus kx is equal to 0.
बोल रहे हो ये unstretched position है time t equal to 0. At time t equal to 0, the spring is not stretched. उसके बाद acceleration 0 क्यों होगा? नहीं होगा.
Okay.
Can I have the board?
Yes, sir.
So 1 minute. Yes, sir. Done.
Now listen, we will generalize a particular concept of applying external force. Whenever external force is applied, you will stick to this procedure. What is it about? Solve the problem with respect to center of mass. M1, M2, you are applying an external force of F. Why are you insisting to solve the problem with respect to center of mass? Reason is, with respect to center of mass, I know maximum elongation comes when both the blocks come to
Rest.
Just with respect to center of
right, with respect to center of mass. First of all, acceleration of center of mass is F divided by M1 plus M. So far, so good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If this is M2, I am applying a force of F. There will be a pseudo force of M2 into ACM. Similarly, on M1, there will be a pseudo force of M1 into ACM. M1 ACM, M2 ACM are pseudo forces. This is pseudo. This is pseudo force. This is pseudo. Why are you writing pseudo force here? I am still now all situations for you, center of mass was moving with uniform velocity. So you
Yes.
never required pseudo force. Now there is an external force. Center of mass is accelerating, and you are solving with respect to center of mass. Hence, pseudo force is mandatory. Here you will apply F minus M2. ACM I will substitute from here. This is M1 plus M2. Right? M1F plus M2F minus M2F upon M1 plus M2. I have just taken LCM. This will be M1F upon M1 plus M2. Now here M2 into ACM. ACM is F divided by M1 plus M2. This is M2F upon, sorry, this is M1, right?
Sir, M1 bhai.
M1. M1F upon M1 plus M2.
Yes, sir.
Something beautiful is happening here. Person standing on center of mass will observe both the blocks being pulled away from him with
Same.
same force. Person standing on center of mass will see both the blocks being pulled away from him with.
Same.
Same
Same
force.
Same
force.
floor.
So now what have you achieved here? I am interested in maximum elongation. Maximum elongation. That's what is my interest. According to this person, when will maximum elongation come? When both the blocks come to?
Rest.
Yes.
Then where did whole of work done by these both forces go? There is work done by these both forces. The net force on M1 as seen by him. Net force on M2 as seen by him. Both the forces are pulling the blocks away from him. Where did that work done go? Into the elastic
Work by
potential
spring.
energy of the spring.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So work done by both these forces, work done will be, have a look at this. On M1, this is the force. M1F divided by M1 plus M2, I'll call it X1. M1 is moved by a distance of X1. M2 per net force is how much this? In which direction? Towards the right. Why?
Yes.
Because you took this force minus this force. So once again, M1F divided by M1 plus M2, and let me say assume M2 moved by a distance of X2.
Yes, sir.
As seen by this observer, this moved by a distance of X1, this moved by a distance of X2 before they came to rest. M1F upon M1 plus M2 into X1 plus X2 is the net total work done by both these forces, and I am assuming the both blocks coming to rest because that will be maximum elongation. Half K X1 plus X2 whole square. Half K X1 plus X2 whole square. Why? Both blocks came to rest.
Kinetic energy.
X1 plus X2 will be X maximum. 2 times M1F upon K into M1 plus M is the maximum elongation of that particular spring.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Hmm.
So when we are looking at M1 and M2 from the center of mass frames, why aren't we taking Kx as a force on either of them?
एक बार ले लोगे वहां पर लिया है half K X1 plus X2 net force यहाँ पर लिया है. Suppose I am pulling a spring mass system. I am pulling with a force of F. Work done by this. आप एक spring mass system ले लो. ऐसा लिया है. mg. Work done by mg will go into half K X square.
Yes, sir.
If I take work done by mg and work done by kx also into it, can I equate it to half K square?
No, sir.
दो बार नहीं ले पाओगे, एक ही बार ले.
Got it.
So, a doubt.
Ah.
So why isn't work done by M1 negative? So because in the opposite direction.
Hey, displacement x1 and force on m1, are they in the same direction or not?
Yes, sir.
So dot product will be positive.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So can you explain again why didn't we consider half kx square in M1 and M2?
लिया हुआ है, राइट साइड देख लो ढंग से.
Sir, left में when we are
कितने बार लोगे एक इक्वेशन में? अगर इसमें ले लिया तो वहां कैसा लोगे? आपके x1 plus x2 के दो बार थोड़ी ले पाओगे. If you take it in this, you cannot take that. So
Okay,
net
sir.
total change in Candy energy, you will equate it to 0. Bhai sahab, this is not the state when you people ask me this doubt. This is suicidal. Is change in kinetic energy. अब आपका एक ऑप्शन है, take work done by conservative here. If
Yes.
not, put minus delta u and take it here as delta p. अब यहाँ जब डेल्टा पी लिया है आपने, आप पूछोगे यहाँ वर्क डन बाय कंजर्वेटिव क्यों नहीं लिया, तो क्या जवाब दूं मैं? एक ही बार ले पाओगे, इधर पुट इट हियर और पुट इट देयर. यहाँ भी वर्क डन बाय कंजर्वेटिव डालूंगा, वहां भी डेल्टा पी डालूंगा, विल बी इन सो, राइट?
Yes, sir.
Tell me when I can rub the board.
Yes, sir, done.
Now just to generalize the same concept, we'll generalize this. I'll apply F2 force here and F1 force here. I can apply any two combinations, 2F, 3F, 4F, 3F, 4F, 2F, and number of combinations I can give you, right? Let us see how it works out. The same logic, same concept, same procedure. We are generalizing this. I am pulling this with F2, I am pulling this with F1. F2, F1 can be anything. 2F, 3F, 5F, 4F, 3F, 4F, so on and so forth. Right? N number of matched columns can be created. Acceleration of center of mass. F2 minus F1 divided by M1 plus M2. You have made an assumption that F2 is greater than F1. What if your assumption is wrong? Nothing to worry, the equations will take care of themselves. You'll get a negative. Right? So, what will be the net force on M1 as seen by this observer? M1 ACM and F1. This is pseudo force. What will be the net force on M2? This is F2 and this is M2 ACM. This is pseudo force. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is F1 plus M1. ACM is F2 minus F1 upon M1 plus M2. M1 F1, M2F1 and M. Let me do it. Plus M2F1 plus M1F2 minus M1F1 upon M1 plus M. M1F1 will go. M2F1 plus M1F2 upon M1 plus M2 is the force that this observer will see on M1. Are we okay with this till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Here it is F2 minus M2 into ACM. F2 minus F1 upon M1 plus M. M1 F2 plus M2 F2 minus M2 F2 plus M2 F1 upon M1 plus M. M2 F2, M2 F2 will go.
M1 F2 plus
M1 F2 plus M2 F1 upon M1 plus M. Do you see both the forces are the same?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the person standing on the center of mass will observe both the masses being pulled away from him by.
The same
The same force.
Now, when will he observe maximum elongation?
When they come to
both
rest
come
with
rest
respect
with
to
respect to him.
So,
So,
work done by conservative.
M1 F2 plus M2 F1 upon M1 plus M2 into X1 plus X2. Whole of this should go into
Half K X1 plus
Half
X to the whole square.
X1 plus X2 का whole.
because the final kinetic energy should be 0,
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
right?
yes, sir.
So X maximum is X1 plus X2, which will be 2 times M1 F2 plus M2 F1 upon K times M1 plus M. Now he gives you any type of matchstick column, 2F, 3F, 4F, 2F, 5F, 3F. Substitute F1 and F2, your job will be done.
So,
Hmm.
sir, I had a request.
Hmm.
So, based on whatever we have studied till now, can you give us booklet homework? So, because if we are not able to finish the entire chapter by the 24th ka TWT, sir, like we'll have to practice,
We
right?
have
Some
only
amount.
one problem for that. I have to teach you impulses, which is the next topic for this. To give you homework from the booklet for the flagship batch, I've given exercise 1, 2, 3 of the booklet. Last week, we had only one lecture. And to add to our trouble, we converted the lecture into notes.
Out lecture.
Now, hence, we are falling behind now. This week, Saturday, impulses will be at least half done so that I can give you homework. Impulse force today I'll be introducing in another 10-15 minutes. But with that introduction, you cannot solve the problem. You will have to go through a process for one more lecture at least. I can give you
Can you take
homework
one
on
extra question?
So, you can take an extra lecture if you want.
the 15th tak we are with your seniors. The crash course should be over. I already told this to you.
Yes, sir. Sir, उसके बाद
Our attention is on them. Right? From 15th, they'll start going for their college prelims. Unless and until they are postponed. Right? With the present pandemic scenario, everything is uncertain. But as on date, the schedule is till 15th. Even if we get one extra minute, it is for your seniors. Don't worry, next year you will also be in that position. Right? So this week,
Yes, sir.
out of question, we cannot take an extra class. With great difficulty, we got a second lecture on Saturday. Saturday एक और lecture है, पता है ना?
हाँ सर.
हाँ सर, अच्छा.
So that partly saved us. So Saturday you will have surplus home.
सर क्रैश कोर्स का मतलब सारे टॉपिक्स रिवाइज कराते हो.
Yeah. And we solve few tougher problems other than what we have done in the class.
ये क्रैश कोर्स हर एक पैच के होते हैं कि सिर्फ अचीवर्स पैच या कुछ ऐसा
नहीं,
सिलेक्टेड
सारे बैचेस के होंगे, सारे
तो
बैचेस. That's why the schedule is very tight.
और अभी जो 12th में होंगे उन लोग को मारने का भी मतलब टाइम नहीं मिलता होगा.
Next, from here, next one complete year will be hectic for you people. This 1 year, you will have to give wholeheartedly to this fight. It will be the deciding factor for your life. That way or this.
Yes.
yes sir then.
Sir, 1 second, almost over.
Any of the board?
Yes.
Yes.
sir.
So will gravitation and SHM be like a break after rotation and center of mass?
Why do you want to call it a break? I don't understand.
The break matlab like how work power energy was for us after Newton's law.
Right. It will be easier. Gravitation will be much easier. SHM thoda bahut idhar udhar, but gravitation is much easier. You have to remember a few formulas. It's a straight hit chapter.
Sir, work power energy
To
तो
a
अभी
much
बहुत
greater
ज्यादा.
extent, after rotation, you will have a slightly relaxed period till we come to EMI. EMI tak it will be a bit relaxed.
हाँ सर, वो करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का मॉड्यूल देख रहा था, उसमें like there's a good overlap between our electrical maintenance and that.
Right. You will feel it much relaxed during that period. Yeah. Now listen. You have two blocks, A and B. You are pulling this with a force of F. X naught is the extension in the spring. Extension in the spring. If X naught is the extension in the spring, at a particular instant of time, at an instant of time, at an instant of time t, you will get the answer in terms of t. X naught is extension of the spring at an instant of time t. Right? Find displacement of A and B. Find XA and X. Find XA and XB with respect to ground.
So can we try
Find XA and XB with respect to ground. Now I'll make your job a bit easy. Let MA be equal to MB equal to M. I'm slightly simplifying your answer in the last step. Put MA equal to MB equal to M. Acceleration of center of mass will be how much? F by 2m. XCM is
Can you
equal.
please wait? So 1 minute.
Sure.
So, so I got disconnected. So can you explain why you have taken XCM is equal to UCOM into time?
I didn't. I was writing the other part of it. They asked me to wait.
Oh, okay, sir. I got it.
UCM is 0. FT square by
2m square. Sorry, 2m, sorry.
2m. So Ft square by 4m is XCM. This is the displacement of center of mass as a function of time. XCM is MA into XA plus MB into XB upon MA plus MB. To make your simplification a bit easy, I have given you an additional information. Make MA equal to MB. What will happen? XCM is Ft square by 4m is equal to XA plus XB by 2. This is one equation for me. I need to calculate XA and XB. If I have one more equation, my job is done. Second equation is quite easy. X0 is equal to XA minus XB. You gave me X0 as the elongation of the spring, right? XB minus XA, sorry, XB minus XA. XB minus XA. Constraint relations, XB. This is XA. XB is moving away from the center of the segment plus XB. XA is moving towards the center of the segment minus XA. Is the net total elongation. If it were for a string, I would have equated it to 0. It is for a spring, I am equating it to X0, elongation in the spring. Two equations, two variables should not be difficult for any one of you.
So wouldn't XA be in the leftwards direction?
You are pulling this towards the right and you expect XA to go in the backward direction due to which force?
Sir, I think he got confused because he might have considered it in the center of mass frame where they move in opposite directions.
Clearly with respect to ground,
Oh, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. With respect to ground, sir.
it will appear to go backward, but here you are solving with respect to ground.
सर इस साल जेई कौन से महीने में हो रहा है?
तो मार्च में है ना?
So during January and February, do they focus on JEE or the board exams?
Both.
तो पहला जेई अटेम्प्ट करे तो सब लोग बहुत प्रेफर करते हैं ना?
JEE is now giving 4 attempts now here.
हाँ सर, but पहला attempt
only 1 attempt.
क्या है?
So when boards ka dates are coming close by, you will not take chances.
सर 4 अटेम्प्ट अभी परमानेंट हो गया है कि बस ये कोरोना के लिए?
परमानेंट हो जाएगा शायद 99%.
तो 2 साल से तो 4 अटेम्प्ट है ना?
Sir, otherwise how many attempts were there normally?
1.
Otherwise 2.
सर एडवांस के लिए भी करना चाहिए, फिर मजा आ जाएगा.
Pardon?
सर एडवांस के लिए भी 4 अटेम्प्ट रखना चाहिए, फिर मजा आ जाएगा.
4 में भी नहीं,
People will not do that.
2 की
सबका
जरूरत
सिलेक्शन हो
है.
जाएगा वैसे तो.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है.
भाई सिर काम ही नहीं करेगा इतना.
See, JEE people when they ask you for your feedback, give them, but they will not ask, right? That too, JEE advanced or IITs are conducting, they'll maintain their monopoly.
The government can't interfere in JEE advanced का thing.
Few things it cannot interfere. That is when JEE was constituted in the very first initial state. They were given, the JEE committee was given more power as far as their functioning is concerned. Though the funding is given from the HRD ministry, they cannot interfere in every nook and corner of it. There are few things which JEE can put their foot down.
So they should allow calculators in JEE. That would be the best possible thing.
Who is asking you for your feedbacks? Yaar, I don't understand. Class का बीच में आप अपना feedback JEE के बारे में देते रहते हो. किसी ने पूछा है?
हर क्लास में
Forget about पूछना. अगर आप बोलेंगे तो भी वो लोग नहीं सुनेंगे. Right? So better fall in line with them. हमें JEE का सीट चाहिए. अगर वो लोग बोलेंगे पूरा दिन धूप में खड़े रहो, हम JEE का सीट दे देंगे तुम्हें, तो मैं तैयार हूँ.
हाँ सर, मैं भी.
Clear? Right. You don't tell them what they should do. They will not listen. Even after getting into IIT, that will be the state for you. Go and tell the prof something like this. He'll tell you, he'll ask you, first thing he'll ask you is, what is your rank? Understood, sir. Hard jod ke, yes, sir, bol ke piche chale. So come out of that mindset. Now, impulse. Firstly, understand this very carefully. This is a very tricky situation. Here your judgment matters. Till now there were fundamental rules written. Normal force always acts this way. Tension always acts this way. Friction always acts this way. Now here your judgment is more important. Mera judgment kyun aayega yaar andar? That is why this becomes a very tricky situation. But once you get that, you are either on this side of the line or that side of the line. You will not be a person where you understood 50% of this or 60% of this. Either you completely understood or did not understand anything. So listen and pay attention to this carefully. Impulse as it is change in momentum. This is change in momentum. This is impulse. F external is equal to dP by dt. dP is equal to F external into dt. So momentum technically, delta P is integral of F external dot dt. Till here we don't have an issue. It appears very valid.
Yes sir.
Every change in momentum is impulse. Every change in momentum is impulse. But what will you call as an impulsive force? Impulsive force. Impulsive force. It is that force which can change momentum substantially in a very short time interval. In a very short time interval, if that force can change the momentum substantially, then we call that impulsive force. Non-impulsive, that force which cannot change momentum substantially in a very short time interval, that force which cannot change momentum substantially in a short time interval is non-impulsive. First of all, write down the definitions. I'll explain the situation. For 1 second, listen to me, have a look at this. This is important, please pay attention. Tension in a string, is it impulsive or non-impulsive? I don't have a definite answer till you tell me the circumstance. the tension is non-impulsive. ज्यादा
Yes,
फोर्स
sir.
अप्लाई किया है मैंने, बहुत ज्यादा फोर्स अप्लाई किया है, फिर भी non-impulsive. Same tension now is impulsive. Same tension in the string now is
Impulsive.
See the difference. This judgment you should have while solving the problem. Body is hanging this way. The tension in the string is non-impulsive.
Drop किया.
Okay.
Tension
Impulsive.
becomes
Yes, yes,
Impulsive.
non-impulsive.
Yes, sir.
Impulsive.
Impulsive.
Now this judgment about every same tension, एक situation में non-impulsive है, एक situation में impulsive. So this judgment you are supposed to take while dealing with the problem. That depends on the problem. That depends on the problem and the situation. Will it be able to produce substantial change in momentum? It did. This was falling with a velocity of under root 2gh. Instantly it came to rest.
Yes, sir.
Substantial change in momentum hai. Under root 2gh became 0. So this tension will be impulsive in that situation. But normally when it is hanging, the tension is not impulsive. Is it
Impulsive.
also non-impulsive tension?
Yes.
Non-impulsive.
Non-impulsive.
This will be impulsive.
Yes, sir.
I will show you few more examples. First, write down what is there on the book.
Sir, I have a doubt. So when you were moving the medal from left to right, wouldn't that also be impulsive because the momentum is changing substantially in that also?
Non-impulsive. Momentum is not changing abruptly in a short time interval. In a short time interval, देख लो, change in momentum is very small.
Okay, sir.
सर तो जब हम लोग टेबल टेनिस खेलते हैं या फुटबॉल खेलते हैं तो व्हेन वी किक द बॉल और लाइक वी हिट द बॉल विद द पैडल impulsive.
So is it necessary that momentum change should be from rest or
No, any change in momentum, substantial change in momentum.
Sir, and one last request, sir. Before the MT, can you keep a cumulative test on all the
Yes, sir,
chapters
all
so far?
That you usually do, na, sir.
Remind me in the last week, I'll keep. 1
Okay,
week
sir.
before the entry, remind.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So 15 can we remind you?
Whenever you remind 2-3 days from then, I will.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, done.
So just a minute. Done, sir.
Now listen. Small m is moving with a velocity and it collides with capital M. Let us understand all the forces which are acting. There is a normal force on these two, action and reaction. These both are impulsive forces. Impulsive. The tension remains non-impulsive. There will be no abrupt change in the tension here. The tension remains non-impulsive, but these both normal forces are impulsive. They produce substantial change in small m as well as capital. But the same situation, if there is a mass moving this way and it strikes. Observe this carefully. undoubtedly this N is impulsive, this N is impulsive, this is impulsive, this is also impulsive. Now this N will have a vertical component.
Yes, sir.
So this T will become impulsive because only an impulsive force can balance another impulsive force. Only impulsive force balances and another impulsive force. This normal force in the vertical direction has a component. Who balances that vertical component? of
Impulsive tension.
It should be tension, and hence that becomes impulsive. And actually also you can visualize. If a ball strikes this, the tension in the string will abruptly increase by a small amount in a very short time interval. Right? But on the contrary, if it strikes this way, these both normal forces may be impulsive, but not this tension T. So are you trying to tell me the same normal force in some situations or the same tension in some situations will be impulsive, some situations it will be non-impulsive? Yes. I will further emphasize on it, take it down till here.
So is it due to in the first case dot product is 0?
Dot product कहाँ से आ गया यार? क्या
Like
पूछ रहे हो?
tension and normal
नहीं,
anti-degree.
they are perpendicular. Dot product क्यों कर रहे हो? They are perpendicular. So one will not interfere with the other.
So, सर अभी सीनियर्स के क्रैश कोर्स में कौन से टॉपिक्स चालू है?
Yeah, till when we complete this topic, other than this topic, we will not talk any other topic. Is that clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Why so many interruptions in a class? I don't understand. Is it essential that we chat when such an important thing is being covered? Do not talk anything other than the subject when this is being taught. Is that clear?
Sir, shouldn't the normal force on more massive ball be non-impulsive because the delta
Both are
V?
impulsive. It will be substantial change. If this is impulsive, its reaction cannot be non-impulsive. Action and reaction will be equal and opposite.
Yes, sir. Sir, but the change in potential, the change in momentum would be quite less, right? In the case of more massive ball.
See how suicidal the statement is. Action and reaction will be equal. Its velocity may be less, but momentum, why will it be different?
अच्छा हाँ ठीक है. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Momentum will be the same. Change in
Yes.
momentum of small m and capital M will be same.
Yes, got it. Thank you.
Tell me when I can rub the board.
Yes, sir.
Now, you people have solved HCV in this subtopic, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you people remember, by the way, let me first explain this. This normal force is the non-impulsive. Normal force is equal to mg. Non-impulsive. Friction arising due to non-impulsive normal force is also non-impulsive. That's why you had problems in HCV where these both masses collided, M2 and M1. The lower surface was rough. Yet you conserve linear momentum in the horizontal direction. Something very important is being taught. I need all your attention. Please pay attention. You had friction here. Technically, you should get the doubt. How did you conserve linear momentum? This friction is non-impulsive, though it is rough. Friction, I'll call this N2, I'll call this N1. N1 and 2 both are non-impulsive. Friction due to non-impulsive forces will also be non-impulsive. Friction due to non-impulsive normal forces is also non-impulsive. This friction here is a non-impulsive. So you will conserve linear momentum. Yes. What is non-impulsive? In that short time interval when these both collided,
Substantial
change in momentum did not come into picture. So momentum is conserved. So if this is moving with a velocity u1, this is moving with a velocity u2, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 just before collision, and m1 v1 plus m2 v2 just after collision are almost the same. In that very short time interval, friction cannot produce substantial change in momentum. In that very short time interval, friction cannot produce substantial change in momentum. Hence, you conserve momentum. Firstly, is this point clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Something very important is being taught, and there are students who are dropping away. I will keep a track of these students who are dropping away. They will not be permitted to join the next class. You are missing the most important part of how to go ahead with the problems. I've got brainless idiots sitting in this class. When we tell you so much important thing, you keep dropping away from the class. In the last half an hour, you will lose patience. तो किस लिए पढ़ाया जाए? पागल लोगों की कमी है नहीं यार. We need everything other than study, ironically here. Students who are dropping out, you will not join the class from the next lecture. Please be crystal clear. जिसको नहीं सुनना है, जिसको सोना है, सोते रहो. Sleep for good. Life is all about the choices you make. You want to sleep, sleep. Just don't join this class again. Now, in this particular case, observe this very carefully. What if I take a spherical ball this way and I hit this way? The collision is like this. Now what happens? This normal force is impulsive, undoubtedly. When you are striking, there will be a normal force on this end and reaction of the normal force on this is end. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, this normal force N naught also becomes impulsive. N naught is impulsive. That means the friction here also will be impulsive.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Friction arising due to an impulsive normal force is impulsive. Friction
Yes, sir.
arising due to an impulsive normal force is also impulsive.
Also. Yes,
Right?
sir.
If this friction was non-impulsive, this normal force is non-impulsive, then the friction is non-impulsive. I have no
Non-impulsive.
problem with that. In this situation, in the horizontal direction, I cannot conserve linear momentum. Right? Friction becomes an impulsive force. Can we actually visualize this, that the same normal force in this case was non-impulsive, while if you strike this way, this normal force will become impulsive? Yes. If you have ever observed with a cue when you strike the snooker ball, billiards, snooker ball, if you have ever observed with the cue when they strike it like this, when they strike horizontally, the normal force is non-impulsive. When they strike this way, this normal force will become impulsive. And the ball will bounce.
Yes.
Strike the
Yes,
ball in the downward direction. You're hitting it downwards. The ball will bounce upwards.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'll show you a few examples. Wait a second, keep taking this down, I'll show you the example.
So, but I don't think in the homework that you had given us ऐसे sums है जहाँ पे हम लोग ने friction के बजाय भी ऐसे conserve कर दिया momentum को.
अरे HCV में है, there is an example where they tell you these both collide and because it is rough it will come to rest after some time. They ask you after what distance will it come to rest. है कि नहीं? HCV कहाँ तक किया आप लोगों ने?
1 to
So
48.
question 48.
Okay, hence no. After those problems will come out of 48. I'll give you that homework now. Wait.
So we also have the doubts pending for the HCV.
यस सर सर वरना पीपी सर ने रिकॉर्डिंग किया ही होगा मतलब डाउट्स का तो आप उनको भी बोल सकते हैं
Yesterday I didn't take. Yesterday some other sir took in flagship batch doubts of
PP
HCV.
sir. Okay sir.
I'll ask them to send the recording.
Thank you, sir.
Left. I'm going to try to make all those balls.
When you're ready.
I made the first 2 or 3, then I missed kind of a lot here, which I usually don't, so I probably missed a link, but I missed a lot of balls right at the start of the line, so I think I made the first 2 or 3, then I missed kind of a lot here, which I usually don't, so I probably missed at least. I'm actually impressed.
One of the balls hit the.
Did you people observe that?
Yes sir.
Yes
The
sir.
way the ball bounces off the table above.
Yes.
Right.
So similarly with the carom board also ना carom coins.
There it doesn't bounce.
ऊपर की
There
तरफ
it
मारना
doesn't
मारो.
bounce. It bounces, you'll be in trouble. Listen, if you people observe, he hits the ball in the downward direction in such a way such that this normal force becomes impulsive. So the ball will bounce upwards. And because it has got a horizontal component, it goes in the form of a projectile motion.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to visualize that this normal force is impulsive now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes sir.
Now, the same thing you will do in this situation. When there are two bodies falling vertically, one is falling vertically downwards, another is going vertically upwards. Both are rigid bodies, they collide. Both are rigid bodies, they collide. Right? What you do is, you conserve linear momentum to find out V1 and V2. After collision, to find out V1 and V2, you conserve linear momentum. The genuine doubt that the student will get is, there was gravity in the vertical direction, right? It's an
Yes,
external
sir.
force.
Yes.
So by definition, I should conserve linear momentum. I'll
Yes.
write the equations here for clarity. Listen to this. Can I rub this part of the board?
Yes. Yes sir.
No. Suppose if m is falling with a velocity u1 capital M is moving with a velocity u2 in the vertical direction. After collision, M is moving up with v1. I assume capital M continues to move with a velocity v2. How do you want me to calculate this? Have a look at this. I'll take everything in the upward direction as positive, everything in the downward direction as negative, right? Capital M u2 minus small m u1 is equal to capital M v2 plus small m v1 is my first equation. Second equation E is v1 minus v2 upon u2 minus of minus u1. Two equations and two variables for the problem to be solved. We have a problem like this in the booklet called the super ball model, which I will demonstrate to you on the YouTube. Walter Levin demonstrates that in the class before you solve that problem. Right now, that problem is not of my interest. My interest is focused only on one point. Who gave you the permission to conserve linear momentum for both small m and capital M put together? Put together, there is an external force called gravity. Gravity is a non-impulsive force here. Gravity here is a non-impulsive force. Gravity and spring force are generally non-impulsive. तो हर वक्त ग्रेविटी नॉन इंपल्सिव बोर के वर्टिकल डायरेक्शन में लीनियर मोमेंटम कंजर्व कर दोगे. Every time that will be the state. Remember, when will I conserve momentum? When limit delta t tends to 0, the collision takes very short time interval. In that short time interval, gravity doesn't appreciably change the momentum. A ball is falling from the side. It came till here. In a very short time interval, the change in momentum is very less in a free fall. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. In a very short time interval, the change in momentum is very less. But you give a sufficient time interval, gravity also will change momentum. But when will such an example come? You already did this. Do you remember we asked you if this block reaches the lowermost bottom,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
velocity acquired. Here we told you clearly that in the vertical direction you cannot conserve linear momentum because of gravity.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here there was surplus time. Gravity changed the momentum. Gravity being non-impulsive, where will you take the advantage? Limit
Delta t tends to-
delta t tending to 0. If this force is a non-impulsive force, delta t is delta p. If this is a non-impulsive force, limit delta t tending to 0, delta p also will tend to 0. If this external force is non-impulsive, limit delta t tending to 0, the product will become 0. So delta p also tends to 0. So in gravity, if the collision takes place for a very, very, very short time interval, in that short time interval, gravity and spring cannot change the momentum appreciably. Is this point very clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now make a note of this and I'll dictate two more points. First to take this down.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Go ahead.
Sir, how can we consider spring force to be non-impulsive? For example, we take a
Doesn't
spring and
react
we elongate.
immediately unless you have a spring system here, right? You fired a bullet into it. You can conserve linear momentum here because kx will change only when x changes. At that instant, spring is a shock absorber here. It's a non-impulsive force. It absorbs shock, right? It doesn't give a jerk. String may I gave a jerk. You saw the tension. For a string, spring, it will not give a jerk, right?
Okay, sir.
Sir, so sir, in the example of projecting a ball towards the wall, So should we conserve momentum in the vertical direction or not?
Always, when you are projecting a ball towards a ball, just before collision and just after collision, along the vertical direction, there is no impulsive force. This is a projectile, u and theta. Is this part of the board visible?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
just before collision and just after collision, in this direction, momentum is the same. The only
Okay, sir.
external force in this direction is gravity. That is non-impulsive. The only impulsive force you have got is the normal force acting. In the horizontal direction, there is an impulsive force. In the vertical direction, there is no impulsive force.
Okay. So, sir, we can conserve, right, in your vertical direction?
We should, it is not we can.
Okay, sir.
The velocity just before collision, just after collision, if the surface is smooth, must be the same along the common tangent.
Okay, sir.
Sir, the statement gravity and spring force are generally non-impulsive. It's applicable in all cases or for a very short interval of time.
पूरा concept का revision करना पड़ेगा. The question that you asked is suicidal. This problem में, did you conserve linear momentum in the vertical direction? No, right?
No, sir.
Why? Because you told me gravity was acting
Yes,
down.
sir.
Gravity non-impulsive है, but you gave surplus time for change in momentum. Gravity is non-impulsive, but you have given surplus time. So delta P will be substantial. एक non-impulsive force रहते हुए भी, why will I conserve momentum? Only if you are considering
Surplus time.
delta T tending to 0. This is a non-impulsive force.
Yes, sir.
Non-impulsive force. Delta T tending to 0, the product will be very, very small. Delta P will be very, very small. So momentum will be conserved.
Yes, sir.
You have given surplus time. So even if it is a non-impulsive force, there will be change in momentum.
Okay, sir. Got it.
You have given surplus time. Even if this is a non-impulsive force, there is change in momentum. In this collision, this is for a very, very, very short time interval. So I have gravity acting, but limit delta T is tending to 0. So the product is tending to 0. Delta P is tending to 0. So momentum will remain almost constant.
Yes, sir. Got it.
सर
बोलो.
सर अगर ये सिस्टम वैक्यूम में होता तो सर उसमें नॉर्मल फोर्स इम्पल्सिव होता ना, मतलब वो टाइम लगता और
वैक्यूम से क्या लेगा तुम?
अरे
टाइम
बना देगा यार, सच्ची में पूरा टीचिंग का मजा उड़ा देता है. अच्छा, क्या पढ़ा रहा हूँ, तुम लोग क्या सुन रहे हो, क्या समझ रहे हो? Unless I have an eye contact, I don't even understand which idiot is understanding what. वैक्यूम से क्या लेना देना है यार? Such an important thing, you people screwed it up thoroughly. एक काम करो, this lecture is uploaded on the YouTube. Please go through the lecture in detail more than once. ऐसा नहीं होगा आपसे. आप लोग सुनते नहीं, न समझते हैं. What you ask does not make sense with the topic that I am teaching. Kinematics का air friction लाते हो, vacuum का अभी. यार, you people end my day in such a disappointed way that the whole of the fancy of teaching is lost here. वैक्यूम में नहीं होगा यार, आप लोगों से impulsive non impulsive नहीं होगा. छोड़ो, बाद में देखेंगे. को पढ़ा